Good evening, everyone. I would like to thank you all for coming today. We are not here to mourn, but to celebrate the life of Chris Gutierrez. Chris was an extraordinary man. As most of you may know, my family and many of his friends called Chris Primo. He got the name when my step-grandma found out that they were second cousins. She told my dad about it and he came up with Primo. And for those of you who forgot some of the language like I have, this means cousin in Spanish. Primo would not want us to mourn his passing. He would want us to remember all the good moments we had with him throughout his life. As we all know, this is a man who was always willing to help out with any of his friends or family members, no matter what he was doing. Whenever he was around me, he would always ask how I was. The conversation was never about himself. I'm sure most of you can relate to this too. None of us ever thought he would leave us this soon. With Primo being so stubborn, he fought a hard battle, but unfortunately, he lost a hard-fought battle with T-cell acute lymphoblastic leukemia, a very rare form of cancer that affects bone marrow and white blood cells. I want to start with a vivid memory I have of how Primo has made a difference in my life. I remember early on in high school, me and my friends started to buy stand-up jet skis. One day in my garage, I went up to Primo and my dad, and I told them how badly I wanted a jet ski, so I could go out and ride with my friends. Sure enough, Primo told me that he would ask around to see if he could find one. As time passed by over a few months, Primo gave me a call. I picked up the phone to have Primo tell me that he had found me a jet ski. The jet ski was owned by one of his employees. Primo dropped what he was doing that day so he could come by the house to give me a ride to look at this jet ski. I was so ecstatic. Primo always loved to see the smile on people's faces when he had done something for them. Primo gave me the opportunity to be able to speed across the water with my buddies. To this day, riding my stand-up is one of my favorite things to do. I owe it all to Primo for helping me find one that is faster than all my friends' skis. Also, the community was part of Primo's persona. He was the president of the Lodi Wine Grape Commission and worked with the San Joaquin Farm Bureau. Primo was very proud of what he accomplished in our area. With being on the Lodi Wine Grape Commission, Primo reviewed multiple scholarships from students in the area who are going to college in order to pursue degrees in agriculture. Primo encouraged me to submit an application for 2 of the commission's scholarships during my last year of high school. I remember going over to his house months later while he was homesick in bed. I thanked him for awarding me both of those scholarships I had applied for. When I asked, Primo assured me that I did not win just because he knew me. He told me my application showed much more promise than any of the other applications. With the San Joaquin Farm Bureau, Primo got really involved in agriculture in our area. He was constantly advocating for better regulations and combating certain issues. He treasured attending and donating to kids who raised animals for the auction at the San Joaquin County Fair each and every year. I remember every year when I walked down my animal around the ring to sell, Primo would always be in the stands bidding up my price so I can get more money to go towards pursuing my dream at Cal Poly in order to work in the ag industry later on in life. Not only did he bid up my animal, he also added on to the total price of my animal. And in conclusion, Primo was and has made a significant impact and difference in a lot of our lives. I will truly miss having Primo at my house every single day, mostly, drinking beer with my dad and giving me helpful life advice. He was always the one to calm my dad down when we got into it, and Primo was an inspiration to all of us, along with playing an integral role in many of our lives. Not everyone is going to get a chance to share today, so I would like you all to take a moment to think about some instances where Primo was there to help you when you were in need. Regardless of how you knew Primo, I'm sure he has done something to help you in some aspect of your life. Lodi will never be the same without him.